food, I think, is first class. It's somehow clean, satisfying.
English food is very bland, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not terribly spicy, I'm not either.
Oh, well,
or I like the spices and the spices don't like me, you know what I mean?
No, I like spices. And I like all kinds. There's nothing around here anyway, is there?
The trouble with the foods we eat now, there's too much fat in them. And the worst thing that happens in this country, there's too many people eat chips.
Ooh. Egg and chips. Egg, chips, gammon. Chip butties.
I mean, at lunchtime, instead of kiddies going down and buying a couple of apples or a couple of pears, what do? They go to the chip shops and buy chips. And when they get home at night, they have chips again.
You know, if I have too much chocolate, I get a bit fat and I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, she eats really well for a diet. I mean, I pile weights on and she piles it off. So I think what she loses, I gain.
I try and eat healthily.
And she eats brown bread and all the rest of it. Apples and bananas, you name it, she eats it.
The main staple diet for runners is...
We had, in fact, we had wild strawberries, little wild strawberries. And of course, if it was acorn time, you could always eat an acorn. And even the thistle, you could always peel the top off of the thistle.
Are you talking about food? I go to a restaurant, I like everything.
Everything.
You know, not one particular,
I
like a Mexican or a thing. That's no good for me.
There are one or two foreign foods that do have rice pudding, proper pizzas. Like some of the deep pan pizzas.
The crust on top, amazing, and then that gooey stuff inside. But that sort of poo is a lot healthier, horse poo and cow poo. Cow pats are fantastic to look at, though, with all those dung beetles crawling around inside them.
As long as it's filling and barely edible, I'll pretty much eat it. I'm always too hungry to be picky.
I didn't like to eat anything really that was contaminated by any insect. Although we put up with it when you're hungry. I never ate it, that I know of. I may have done, I don't know.
Horse poo is very good, you know, but human poo and dog poo, that's poisonous, I think.
Yeah, but if you eat a bit of dirt, it don't matter, does it?
No, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt anyway. In your lifetime, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt. God. Without even knowing.
I used to go around the back of shops, supermarkets, going down the back of the skips to get
no
the
problem
out. Yeah, I've eaten food that's been a week old and whatever. Anything from frozen to tins. I used to find all sorts of food in the skips. I was like liberating it.
And then there's elephant poo, which is enormous. And lion's poo, now that must frighten anybody off.
I don't catch flies because they eat poo, and I don't like poo.
Like eating dirt, you got your trace elements in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and it builds up your resistance to infection
Exactly.
as well. So it ain't a bad thing, I don't think.
Dirt on food. Dirt on food. What? Dirt on food can kill you. You can put one mouthful of dirty food in your mouth and you can be a goner. Can you ask me that question?
I think I've ate more lead shot than I've certainly ate oysters. I think that's probably, I know, it's probably why my brain's a bit funny, or, yeah.
Dog and cat food.
It smells absolutely disgusting,
Well,
doesn't
it's
it?
very strong.
Horrible.
It's very strong.
Oh, I don't think I'd like to eat a sheep's eyeball or an intestine of a cow or something like that. But if you've got all these sort of intestines and all these sort of, not so appetising bits of animals, then they mix it all up in a mixer and then they call it
I don't want to sound like a cannibal, but there again, we all went out for a meal and the chicken was so horrible. I could vomit all night and never stop. That was really, really horrible.
Horrible. Yeah, bloody milk cartons. Goes everywhere, milk, anything. There's too many bags in the world.
God help the people with arthritis.
Yes,
they never
my
open
yeah,
them.
they can't.
It's terrible.
Even to tea bags, even to get the stuff.
Everything. The
You know, it's
cellophane on it, you
ridiculous.
can't open it. The biscuits, you can't open. All packages.
And a packet of ham, which I don't very well.
It's terrible. They're not, none of the
By the time you open it, you don't want the ham.
No. Oh gosh, yes.
I hate seafood. I really, absolutely detest it. I did eat a fish once, about 2 years ago, and I think they're disgusting.
Now, I you know, like prawns and all the shellfish, I mean, I know they're lovely, but I'm always afraid in case you get the one that will turn your stomach.
Whelks, mussels, that's like eating slugs.
Is it?
Oysters and stuff.
I've never
Brilliant.
tasted a slug.
Ugh, sliding down your gullet.
But you don't eat slugs,
Like
do you?
eating a slug.
Well, how do you know when you've never had one?
That's how I would imagine it to be.
I love salads. Same as I'd rather have a salad than a roast dinner. I
We eat
love
a lot of salad in the summer, don't we?
Mm.
More in the winter.
salt and a bit of tomato. Can't beat a
Bit
bit
of
of
lettuce.
salt.
Can't beat a bit of lettuce.
Well, I mean, I feel very healthy. The only thing that I have problems with is digestion, and I don't know what is wrong with my digestion. I mean, it's just like I just fart all the time, you know?
I've got a windy stomach. So, like, a lot of things I would not eat if it would upset me. But other than that, no, I'm not a diet person.
Vegetarian is all right, but when they cut out everything, because some of them don't eat, well, they're vegans, is it? Vegans, I think that's hard.
I've been a vegetarian a long time, and when I'm angry, I sometimes lapse and just go and bite something. It's made out of meat, and then I feel guilty afterwards.
Vegetarians, I think they're sort of trying to be better than the rest of us. You know, it's been proved, as far as I know, that the best thing to eat is a bit of yourself.
Actually, beans gives me wind and lemonade makes me burp.
What are you looking at?
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I ain't one of these goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. You know, if I know what's the matter with me, I mean, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor,
And
really.
you never shut up about it either.
And it's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we rave about it now?
Can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I can't have all on doing anything with my own, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit. I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right. I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that
I've always been completely the opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them. In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
No, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
Got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but... And I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Have I? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little.
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so.
Do you not?
No.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. And it's all been worth it. I've had crabs, they were good.
They got out of hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Well, the difference between cats and dogs. Cats don't wag their tail like a dog, and yes, they do. Sometimes they do. They don't go. Oh no, they don't do that. And they don't sit and go. And they don't fetch balls as well as dogs.
One's got a waggy tail and a cold nose, and the claws are like totally contracted all the time, whereas the other one contract their claws and it's got sharper teeth and pointed ears.
Which one's which?
The cats are the ones with contracted jaws and sharp teeth and the sharp pointed ears.
Excuse me. I think I'm an oddity. I've got a foot in both camps, really, and I appreciate either animal for very different qualities.
I like dogs better than cats, though.
I don't.
They seem to be more friendly somehow. Dogs like greet you, whereas cats just sit. They can sleep for so long. No.
Cats can appear to be lazy, but I don't think they are.
They have big claws, like bears, and they look like bears.
They just sit about all day and get fed and go meow, 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 meow.
I find cats, they claw the carpet a lot. They're a complete nuisance, actually.
I think you get more out of a dog in response.
Well, they're more interesting, aren't they?
I think they're thicker than cats, personally.
Do you?
I do.
And I go, shut up.
I used to be a chaser myself, but I mean, it's about what?
It's all about competitiveness, you know what I mean? You see these blokes and like I said, they've been let off a lead. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
and
like,
then like
it's like
it's just more than life, man.
Watching hounds after a hare, you know what I mean? It's
I've been bitten by dogs, I've been bitten by cats, I've been bitten by... you name it, I'll claim it.
Once I was walking past a house and the door suddenly flew open and a dog with a head the size of Albania jumped out, and its teeth were an inch away from my face and its mouth was so big I could have lived inside that mouth quite comfortably, and I was nearly killed.
I've been chased by a Great Dane, a slavering big thing, and it frightened me. I've been bitten by a beagle. I've been chased by an old English sheepdog, which was, I would say that was a springboard into me becoming a Christian.
You always say dogs come sniffing at your private parts.
Do I?
That's one thing you always say.
Well, they told me they're not, that they're just being affectionate.
Dogs wag their tails to get the smell of their farts away, and the cat just walks around with its tail in the air.
Dogs, I like very much because of their great intelligence and loyalty generally, and just so animated and, you know, great chums.
I don't think I've ever had fleas. I think the closest I ever got was scabies, and that was quite bad enough. So you would entirely cover your body from head to toe with this alcohol solution. And there was always this sort of nagging doubt that some part of your anatomy would catch light like a fuse, and it would just be an enormous blue puff.
I think the best thing to do is to put on some flea powder, which you get from the vet. But it's probably not a good idea to have a good scratch because that makes it red and raw and a bit rough and everything.
You know, I've never had any breed that's been a kind of a pampered, you know, pooch. You know.
They breed these mutant dogs, don't they, and give them awards for how mutated they look. And if it's a perfect mutant, it's got a pedigree. But if you crossbreed it with another mutant, it's called a mongrel.
Most pedigree dogs, to get them perfect, they've got things wrong with them. It's either the bull terrier or the bulldog can hardly breathe because they bred into them, that flattened face. It's a bulldog, innit? And a lot of the breeds have suffered when they show a cross.
They look ridiculous with silly bowls. Looks stupid.
I'm certainly a loyal companion, but I have to say I've been let down a lot too in my life. I might be very loyal, but I do like my father said before me. He said, you trust everybody once. And that's what I do. I trust everybody once, no matter who they are. So I'm loyal to the point of disloyalty.
Cats, on the other hand, they are the clever ones. They give humans nothing.
I'm not a cat person. No, they're not loving enough, and they hiss a bit, and they don't do anything. They just wee all over the garden and leave brown stains all over the grass and just make a nuisance of themselves.
I've defecated outside, of course I have. You know what I mean?
If you step in dog mess, then it's not very hygienic, and it's not very it's just not nice.
You kind of get an antennae. The slightest thing, kind of, you know what's going on over there? Sidestep it. And if you can't sidestep it, make sure you come through it.
Because at the end of the day, cats, when they go to the toilet, they clean up and they cover up after them. And that has got to be a sign of higher intelligence.
That's a dirty, filthy business, and that ought to be stopped totally.
I think dogs are more, for a start, I think they smell more. Whereas a cat, you can leave a cat to it. Whereas with a dog...
Yeah, but if you've got a burglar coming in your house, at least a dog makes a noise.
Yeah, but you could throw the cat at the burglar.
That's a silly thing to say. Dogs are more interesting. That's the end of it.
No, it's not the end of it.
We'll just have to agree to disagree then.
And I've got a lovely smile, as my mum says. So, I look good for my age too.
No. No, I think No.
Do any of you do any impressions?
I used to do Dame Edna Everage.
No.
I did,
no,
but I haven't done it for about
no.
10 years now. Oh, I don't even know if I could do it now. It would probably sound awful. Can you do one?
Only a few.
Only a few. Oh, only a few.
I can do Kenneth Williams.
Go on then.
Oh no, stop it.
Impressions are sometimes funny because there's like a caricature, exaggerated movement of ourselves. But it depends who does it, you know, maybe 90% of times it's not good. Like when I do impression of someone, it's really bad. Like doing, you know, David Beckham. It's going on like that, you know, it's a kind of geezer from downtown, you know, South London, innit?
No, I'm afraid I can't do an impression of Naomi Campbell. That one? Just like that, just like that. Just like that. No, I can't do an impression of Kate Moss either, I'm sorry. Yeah.
doing her just like that, shall we? Just like that. Or just like that, just like that.
What I hate is when people do that bloody Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro. Talking to me, shut up! You know, it's so overdone, it's unbelievable.
This is Robert De Niro as a New York cop. Give me one donut, 2 coffees. Okay, make that heavy on the mayo. I could do a Scouser.
I think Julia Roberts would be quite an American voice. Howdy, how are you today? How are things going? That would be my impression of Julia Roberts.
I always laugh at the bloody goat. Oh, that sort of thing, yeah. Oh, aye.
Kippers, they're good, and I think they sound like this.
Well, then there's a bloody chicken.
Chicken is one of my best. I don't know why I'm so good at doing it, and I ain't bragging now, but I just am good at doing that chicken noise. And it goes like this.
I don't really do animal sounds like that. I got the wife to do all that, see? Hey?
Come on, have a go. Do a goldfish.
A what? Do one of they, I suppose.
As long as you don't think you're kissing me like that, there's another thing going.
It's just the faces you're making when you
Yeah,
do
but
it.
it's very hard not to make a face when you do the chicken impression.
I do a pig.
Come on, pass me a tissue, my nose is going. Quick.
Flamingo.
A cockatoo.
A cockatoo.
I think
cockatoo
they
or
have a cockatoo.
a cockatoo or a cockatiel? What's the difference?
A cockatoo.
It's a one's
Animal
a man, one's a
Magic.
woman.
What was the guy called?
Johnny Morris.
Johnny Morris.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, he was
Johnny
good.
Morris.
Well, that was to do all the impressions.
Was that cockatoo?
Or cockatiel? I don't know what
Cockatoo
the
or
difference is. Cockatiel.
Cockatoo. It wasn't. It was cockatoo, man. It was a cockatoo. We're going for cockatoo on that one. Cockatoo.
Yeah,
Or a cockatiel.
I'll go along that line.
Starling.
Oh, well,
Hey.
you never
Oh,
know.
I nearly said a
Distant
starling.
relation. Did you?
No one
Did
likes
you?
starlings.
It's a cousin twice I don't
removed.
like starlings.
Nobody likes them.
Do cuckoo. 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 I do one of them. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Can you do a cuckoo? Cuckoo. Cuckoo. I never really tried animal sounds, have you? Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
Why do people do impressions?
Dishes.
Well, perhaps some people got a gift for doing
Gift
it,
for
and
doing
they
it. They
just
see.
enjoy
They
It's
find
clever,
it strange
things
to
strange, yes.
do an impression of somebody, so
Yeah. And I think
that they can copy
the
so
public
well.
think it funny. It's funny, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's why.
I think I used to be able to
Yeah, because I mean,
like impersonate people, and I'm just trying to think who the hell it was because I can't remember.
try doing that now. As long as it ain't too long. That's not bad actually, that's not bad. But owls don't do that.
He goes, doesn't he? And then you think, well, what's he
We've got
doing?
it,
Somebody's trying to send me a signal or
Yes,
something.
it's not a very...
We have
because everything is
one.
quiet and I hear that. and
I like the sound of that.
The one you were listening to from there was cuckoosh to,
No, that's
cuckoosh
not
to the pigeon.
Yeah, over here.
Oh, Frank Spencer.
Benny, I'm having trouble. The cat's just done a whoopsies in my beret.
Yeah. You can all do Frank Spencer.
Oh, I can do Victor Meldrew as well.
Go on then.
But I haven't done him for a long while.
Go on.
I don't believe it. What the bloody hell do you think this is? God sake, I don't bloody believe it.
That sounds like homosexual, Victor Meldrew. Well, he is, isn't he? Is he?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I don't believe it.
The neighbour's going to say them poor things have gone. They've gone round the
It's a
bend.
good thing
There'll be an ambulance arriving. It's taking us away.
His impressions are sometimes quite cruel. Don't like him. Ah, yeah. It's being stupid now. That won't be used on the thing, will it?
I was wondering what you think about communication.
Communication?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
Sorry?
I say that's a difficult one.
I wasn't listening.
No.
No.
Describe communication.
What is communication? Go on. Hey, that's a start, Smash. We do speak the language of it.
You've got the easy bit.
Let's do the question again.
I remember the question.
I mean, the only thing that you can say about me is I speak lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and sometimes you can see this in the face of the people that are around, that I don't let them speak now.
You're Australian, not Australian, I know. Was it Irish or French? I don't know what he was. I think he come from a bloody broad, but he said a job of what he's bloody talking about half of the time, but he could speak a little bit of Asian, but not a bloody lot.
I just can't imagine that from an UG we've got, such a, like French, for example. French is very sophisticated, isn't it?
Well, French isn't actually as sophisticated as UG, if you ask me, but there you go, that's my view of the French.
There are people that say that the French, aren't very sophisticated, and there's other people that say they are, but an UG, if the French language came from that, it's a bit surprising, really, isn't it?
It would be UG, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's a thing in Newcastle where everybody's called man, even a woman. If you're talking to a woman, you're going, alright, man? I mean, if I'm talking to my mother, I'll say, who, man? But, I mean, that's my mother. My mother's not a man. But, so, doing here, I've said it a couple of times, and it just slipped out. I'll say, if it's a woman, or somebody pushes in, they say, who, man, who are you pushing? Say, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. I say, now you're a woman, man.
Urban is the new language. Look at bling. Who's saying bling now? Everybody! Bling!
It's not just about the language, though. There's body language, isn't there? Which is
There is body language, I suppose, which is universal.
And I can tell by looking at you right now that you're looking a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous. And even though I speak the same language as you, I didn't need to know that in order to tell that.
Would you agree that 80% of communication is non-verbal?
Just thinking about that one.
Well, you were looking at me then and communicating. You were frowning a little bit, so you were communicating, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And I read your face to say that...
Yeah, I guess you could say, 80% is non-verbal.
Yes. Well, it's 100%, isn't it, if you're a North Sea diver mending oil rigs?
I'm just not biting.
As far as communication goes when we're working sheep, it can either be vocal or whistle. So
to go left, and it goes round to the right, and that turns the sheep to the left, and that's how it works. It's communication between three different animals.
Now that's a cuckoo. That's a cuckoo that you can call a cuckoo in with that. That does that call twice, and then you have to wait, and the cuckoo that will reply back to you, and then you do it again twice, and that will bring the cuckoo all the way as close as you want. That you can call them in, and then of course you shoot them.
You know when a donkey's unhappy. If a donkey's bad-tempered, it will lay its ears right down like that. Bad-tempered. When they're happy, their ears are usually up or slightly forward like that. But if they're laid right down like that and they're swishing their tail like she is now, that's showing aggression. But their ears have got to be down, right flat on their body to show aggression. But normally they're straight up again, like hers, look. They're straight up. Or just flopped out to the side. Like that, they flop them out to the side. You think they're up, but then they flop them out. But they're all up, pricked up, looking happy, like that. But that's the only thing, you've got to watch a donkey when she lays her ears right down like that.
Don't whisper things, and defeats the object.
Do you have like communication issues between you?
No, we just don't talk.
It's all about knowing. I tend to be quiet, don't I? I don't do much or say much if I'm. Or you go if you're angry, Wayne, you go You always know, and I say to Paul, "Oh, Wayne's got a grumpy on."
On your nose, look, see. Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I always thought they were being aggressive.
No, that's showing affection. Now somebody should put your hand in her mouth, look.
I make noises usually in the place of words.
What kind?
You make up loads of
just
baby talk.
Yeah, in the middle of things and boodum, things like that. But you understand, don't you, Bab?
And you say things like, "I banged my knee."
All right.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but no, you put your hand in your mouth. Yeah, show her your tongue. Let's see your tongue. Come on. Show me your tongue. I want to see your tongue. There he is. Look, I got him. Come on, I want to see your tongue. There you go. Look, there's your tongue.
They don't mind you doing that?
No, I wouldn't recommend him. No, I wouldn't say you do it, but no, they just trust me. You say that's what it is.
When you need communication, I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always there's something you need or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really, it's really important. The communication is something.
You have to be positive. You have to talk. You must love one another. You must understand. You must communicate. You must read books. Yeah, real man. And we out. Peace. Yeah. Shut up, Brian. Okay.
I've been like that. I've been cut like some people cut me like that, and how are you speaking to very fast? And just so are you talking too loud today? I can't hear what you've been talking about. Then you've got the trouble. I should turn around and you must be bloody deaf then.
Digging dirt up and then putting it on the compass. That's our favourite thing in the garden.
I love gardening. They say in the garden, it's the closest place to God, And actually, I'm waiting for a nice warm day so I can go and pull a few things up, you know what I mean? So it's like God. Oh, hello.
I like gardening, but I'd like to do more. I'd like to have the time I love to see things grow. I love to design things.
Well, a garden's a place for contemplation, isn't it? For reflection.
Gardening, eh?
Very apt.
Well, we don't really know much about gardening, do we?
We seem to get boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gardening, you know, it's not an easy job. You know, when you're digging all day, you know, the old back tends to suffer at the end of the day. You make it as easy as you can, really.
I would call this a labour-intensive garden. Yes, it is.
Me and Nigel we like being out in the open more than we do actually indoors. I believe that anyway.
Yeah.
And I think what Nigel likes about it is he's got that sort of saying, like, you know, no, do it this way, and I think he likes that. But I think we get on quite well together. Sometimes you have a moan at me and that about it, like, but I mean, two minds are better than one. That's what I always say.
Sure.
But you know, we make sure that the job is done, and it's done to the best of our capabilities, and the job is cleared, and the job is actually spot on when we leave.
We have a yard that Des is very nicely decked out, haven't we, Bob?
Yeah. Well, it's all right.
I really like it. It's got loads of sun, got some ornamental grasses.
It's quite small, but it's nice.
No, it's not that small.
Smallish.
There aren't many ponds in the neighbourhood. And certainly in the height of summer, when it gets quite dry, sort of any body of water attracts frogs from miles around. Sort of a Lonely Heart pond for frogs, yes. Sort of singles bar sort of thing, yeah.
I get a bird's eye view of some of the most extraordinary gardens. Sometimes you can be up one tree which has 8 gardens underneath it, and all the neighbouring gardens are gnashing their teeth about this big tree, and the person who owns the tree has a very defensive attitude towards it.
We've got a little bit of decking, and then a bit of grass, and sort of
and a bit of slabs.
A bit of slabs.
I know, it's got everything.
I pay it, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slabs.
And you can dig dirt, grass, sheds, bikes, flat stones.
What's your favourite plant?
I don't have any favourite plants. I like all the plants, except vegetables. I hate vegetables.
I don't like any plants except vegetables.
You only say that.
No, it's true. I know. I quite
like olive trees.
I can't see the point of flowers, really.
I like a good-looking garden which attracts all sorts of living things into it, to be a sort of magnet for life. I like contrasts of form and colour.
And cat papu and dog papu. And bird papu.
It's organic gardening, that's coming a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All people are sort of... I noticed in our gardens that we visit that there's a lot of people with their own compost heaps and that's putting their own sort of peelings and stuff like that.
Well, it's like that garden we done up in Portishead. That one at the bottom, which had all that black stuff, and we opened it up, it was jet black, remember?
Yeah.
And that was that when we done all the shrubs and that in our garden.
Yeah.
And that stuff was really good. And I mean that's good for the organic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it all helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're about number 1 on the hit list of slugs. Crawling and sliming across leaves and eating. You know, not very good. You follow him on, you just see these silvery trails.
I can eat almost anything.
Yeah, I think I'm the same too.
I won't refuse. And the only thing I don't eat is Turkish Delight.
Oh, I like Turkish Delight, see?
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I
and
like
lychees. Lychees.
Yeah, what don't I like? No, I think I like most everything. Yeah, Brussels sprouts and that, I like them, but the missus don't like it.
No, not
after.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Slugs, in my opinion, they're ugly looking things, but they're probably eating other creatures, aren't they? So they're probably doing your garden good to leave them.
I don't think they are actually doing your garden good.
Are they not?
They're eating... If they eat your leaves
I
and
know
things,
nothing about
they can wreck
gardening.
your plants. That's
Can
why they make slug pellets.
Oh well, yeah, you're
They
right.
don't make worm pellets.
Silly old me, I know.
I suppose the next one along is a caterpillar, which seems a shame when you think a caterpillar turns into such a beautiful thing. But a caterpillar can make such a mess of it, a lot of plants, with leaves munched away again.
Yeah, I like the idea of like a good crop of potatoes or a good crop of beans and peas. Whereas flowers
aren't useful.
I mean, they are.
Well, they are.
They're useful in the sense that you
They're
can
pretty.
sit and enjoy it. But it's an awful lot of effort, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I must admit to having a very great affection for the plant that we call by the unfortunate name of dog's tooth violet. Sorry for that delay.
There is a shrub that I do like actually, and that's the burning bush. You ever seen them?
The burning bush?
It's called a burning bush.
A burning bush?
A burning bush it's called. And basically it goes green, and that, when it dies, goes to die off, it goes completely brilliant red.
Oh, like flames, no?
Yeah, that's what they call it, a burning bush, because it actually goes from a nice dark green to a real burning red. And that's called the burning bush.
It turns to ash?
It just goes to like branches, thin little branches, and then it goes green again and goes all over it again. But the tree never goes away; it stays there all the time.
All right.
So it's a bush that's there, and I should say a shrub, as well as a bush, what is there all year round.
Just mucky, messy, boring rubbish.
It's got a shed,
Sounds
which I'm really
gorgeous.
made up about, because I've always wanted a shed all my life, and now I've got one.
To read pornography in.
Not to read pornography, to have a radio and listen to the football results with a paraffin heater in fingerless gloves.
It's not chocolate. It's not grass. It's not anything. It's dirt. I'm telling stories.
I think it's good to work because you get dignity from it, and I've done all kinds. I've worked in a hotel. I worked in this hotel in Teignmouth, and I'd be there at night, and I'd work on the desk. I'd help in the kitchen, but I also clean toilets. And why not? I mean, I like different roles, and it just means I can channel the madness in different areas.
No, because it's the animals. They don't talk
These are
about
tutorials. Because we haven't got much time left. Come on, I'm watching you. Half an hour's gone, you haven't done nothing.
From, I think, just on a personal level, I do prefer provide a valuable service to them, definitely. I mean, it's not necessarily painful, but sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable, me sort of like pulling at their cheek sometimes to get right to the back of the teeth. So enjoy the end result. I think that's what they'd enjoy.
Teamwork. That's one thing about it I like. I wouldn't like to work on my own.
It's over 100, isn't it?
Well, it used to be more than 200.
We've lost quite a few.
Because we're all getting older now, look.
Now, when I was very young and first went with the folks, if there was 4 or 5 hooligans, sort of standing in the way, they would be told to move. And God help them if they didn't move. They'd get a bite on the bum, and probably a smack round the ear hole with a cape, from the policeman.
The thing about being in a lab is you're your own boss. You're free to sort of run several things at once, and it's a very sociable atmosphere in many labs.
Yes,
and ours was a
important.
great place to work. And in some labs you can have music playing because a lot of what you're doing isn't using your brain at the time.
They use mice, don't they, for things?
What, eyeliner?
It's not nice, really, is it?
What, lipstick on a Yorkshire Terrier?
Oh, no.
I think we should all be in clinical trials. We have a moral obligation. Fortunately, I've never been asked, but I take so many drugs anyhow. I am a clinical trial.
You cannot have an effective working police dog which is non-aggressive. As they get older, all they want to do is be the leader of the pack. It's their instinct. And every now and again, he probably just challenges me for the leadership of the pack. So every now and again we have a little tete-a-tete.
When we work in a factory, we are looked after, aren't we? We have the dentist, the chiropodist, chest x-rays, get all our injections done and everything, you know, without even going out of the factory, which is good.
It is very repetitive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very repetitive.
The foreman's always watching you
But
all
we
the time, what you
couldn't
do.
wander about. We can't wander about. But if we make a mistake, then we will be severely reprimanded.
You know, you hear about chefs being crazy. He was crazy, you know. He would throw knives around, you know. Thankfully, I didn't have a lot of dealings with him because I was, you know, dealing on other sort of areas in the hotel, and I just kept out of his way. My friend got it in the neck.
I'm terrified of retirement. Terrified. I really like my work, and I don't want to retire now.
I hate going to sleep, I do. Just do. I just hate going to sleep. I do. Just hate going to sleep anyway. I do. I don't like going to...
How many hours do you reckon you could stay awake for?
Competitively. 24.
Well, yesterday I can use as an example. I stayed awake for 8.5 hours. I did.
8.5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the sleep is very important. For me, it's very important. For me, sleeping is very important. I think it's very important, the sleep, for me.
People think that when you work on nights that you'll automatically go sleep in the daytime because you're so tired. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. Because you're really, like, you come home at 6 in the morning, I'm buzzing, aren't I? I probably could go to about 10, 12. I probably could stay awake all day, actually. But then all of a sudden, bang, it hits you like a wall.
So what happens is, if, say, for instance,
It turns into a grumpy old... That's what happens.
What I was going to say then. I had a good one, eh?
Oh, sorry.
I don't go to bed till late. I couldn't go at 9 like you.
You couldn't?
No.
9:30 and that's it.
Lunchtime?
No.
No.
Normally, I'd have 6 to 7 hours sleep. I think it's advisable to have 7. I know that if you have more than 7 or less than 7, you're likely to die earlier.
If you're tired enough, you'll sleep anywhere. Doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's warm and dry.
That's all you need, really. Slept in fields, stuff like that.
Tunnels.
Under motorway bridges.
Slept in the middle of motorways, actually, a couple of times. Yeah.
It does something queer to folk, doesn't it? I mean, they might be a bit more sparky, and they might be in the mood for love.
I could sleep 12 hours, easy. I could go to bed now and not wake up till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
5. There's the phone ringing.
Right. Hello? Hello? No, I'm sorry, she died ages ago. You need to update your records a bit better. She didn't, there's only the neighbour that moved, but they don't like to.
I heavy breathe at night.
No, man, you snore.
I don't snore.
You've always snored.
No, I don't snore.
You snore.
I don't snore. I don't snore.
You do.
Why
are you doing that? I'm telling you, I've heard you snoring, right? And you won't believe it. Like I'm gonna lie to you about something like that. You snore, man.
I don't snore.
You do, like a pig.
I've never heard a pig snore.
It's diabolical. I'm not kidding. I'm not being nasty or anything. I'm telling the absolute truth. It wakes me in the night. It did early this morning, round about 4 a.m. And I shook. Well, I didn't shock Jackie. I said, Jackie, turn on your side, because when she's lying on her back, you see, her head will flop back, and she'll go. And I thought, oh,
you're nasty about me.
No, it's not. I'm not being nasty.
I can't help it, can I?
No.
I can't help it.
And you've had your adenoids out.
Yes, I have,
Yeah.
yes, and my tonsils, but I can't help it. I've got to lie on my back because I've got a bad back.
If I ever sleep on my back, I have those dreams where it's like you can't move. Really scary dreams. Like you're half awake and half asleep, and I really hate that.
You never ever sleep on your back, do you?
Not anymore.
Well, that's...
Well, there is such a thing as nose pegs.
Is there really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Which we'll have to introduce into this household.
I'll go and sleep in the other room if you want. Or you go and sleep in the other room. Yes, why not?
If you don't get your sleep, you're just, don't approach him. Really, don't approach him until he's. It's like seriously, forget about brown grizzly bears, but they don't do damage. Keep low.
What about you when you're tired? You're just like the living dead. I talk to Francis Comatose. Can't do nothing.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that crazy stuff.
Mummy,
Yes, darling.
I'm really tired.
Do you want to go to bed?
No, he never goes to bed. It's the middle of the day, Michael.
I just like Mummy telling me it's too early.
In the day life, you hear a little bird tweeting, it sounds really lovely. But if that little bird is tweeting at 11 o'clock when you're trying to go to sleep, you want to kill them. But in the morning, you think, oh, lovely little bird.
For me, that was because it was...
Because I went to bed the other day and that little was like there tweeting in that tree and I want to get it down. There's a whole family in there.
Yeah, you will then decide that it's almost like...
Shut up.
Okay, Stephen, have you ever sleep talked?
Well,
How do I know?
How's he going to know if he sleep talks?
You should ask her that question. She...
No, sometimes Stephen's like tossing and turning, and I think he's probably running away from somebody. He's probably doing something that he shouldn't be doing, or he's usually, yeah, he does something. But I don't know what he's doing.
Open the door, Daddy. I'm sleeping. Daddy, let me in. Daddy, let me in. Hey, get out of my bed. You know what time it is? It's 12 o'clock. Do not make eye contact. Hay. Hay, lots of hay and cows. Hey.
Do you dream?
Dun ho?
No.
Run home?
No.
Bang ho?
Dream.
Oh, yes, I dream.
Yeah, they're terrible, aren't they?
Oh no, I always dream the same dream and I can never get to the bottom of it.
Better go back to sleep.
Yeah, go back to sleep.
Mummy,
Yes, darling.
when this going over?
It will be finished soon.
I'm really tired.
Then go to sleep.
You can come here.
Well, I need to suck my thumb.
Yeah, suck your thumb then.
That's all right.
Well, when do you get this microscope off thing?
Get the microphone off now. Know what? You don't have to worry about it. You finished your contribution. You lay down and suck your thumb.
I keep getting up. I do. I'm tired. I should have went to bed. I just hate going to sleep. I do.